With the Nodkrai cycle officially underway and version 6.2 currently live, new leaks suggest something surprising: Alice will not be playable in any 6.x update, including 6.8. Meanwhile, ID lists for upcoming characters like Maiden, Nicole, and Sandrone are circulating, but the community isn't convinced. Today we're breaking down every major leak, the Reddit discussions, and what this means for Alice going forward. We're in the early phase of the Nodkrai cycle. Version 6.2 just launched, and we already have early ID assignments up to 6.7, with 6.8 still unconfirmed. This is important, because the leak conversation around Alice depends heavily on those ID numbers. Here's the ID schedule that leakers are discussing right now. IDI 30, Maiden, version 6.5. Nicole, version 6.6. Sandrone, version 6.7. And the big line: Alice not playable in 6.x. These leaks spread quickly on X and Reddit, sparking debates about whether Hoyoverse is delaying Alice past Nodkrai completely. This leak hit hard because Alice just recently received her first real visual reveal in official promotional material, after years of only being referenced in lore. Naturally, many players expected her to become playable during Nodkrai, especially since the 6.x cycle was marketed with multiple long-awaited character appearances. But now, this new leak suggests she's not slotted anywhere from 6.0 through 6.8. A Reddit discussion about this leak helped highlight why players are drawing different conclusions about Alice's status in the 6.x cycle. Some users note that the ID list for version 6.8 hasn't been released yet, so it's still too early to say for certain whether Alice is included or not. Others point out that 6.8 traditionally lines up with Genshin's summer event, which is often where major characters or long-awaited reveals happen, meaning Alice could still fit naturally into that patch. Another commenter questions the basis of the claim, asking how anyone could rule out the entire 6.x cycle without complete data, especially when 6.8 remains unaccounted for. One user also adds context about the source, mentioning that some accounts mainly relay information gathered from other leakers, rather than providing first-hand data. Because of this, people are treating the "not in 6.x" statement as a possibility rather than a confirmation. Overall, the discussion shows that players are approaching the leak cautiously. With incomplete ID information and multiple interpretations of the current data, many prefer to wait for clearer details before jumping to a final conclusion. Let's break down the possibilities. 1. The leak could be accurate. Hoyoverse may be positioning Alice as a major reveal for 7.0 or beyond, especially given her importance to the overall lore. Saving her for the next region launch would make marketing sense. 2. But the leak is not confirmed. The ID list for 6.8 is still unknown, meaning the final character of the Nodkrai cycle isn't officially accounted for. Alice could still appear in 6.8. 3. The summer patch argument matters. Genshin rarely wastes their major summer update. It's historically where they drop surprising characters and big story events. Alice fits that type of reveal extremely well. 4. Alice appearing is not equal to Alice playable. Even if she doesn't get added as a banner character, she could easily appear in the 6.8 story, host a summer event, or push the plot into 7.0. So not playable doesn't necessarily mean she'll be absent. Based on the current data, Alice is unlikely to be a playable unit in patches 6.0 to 6.7, since IDs are already filled. 6.8 is the only possible slot left, but until those IDs leak, nothing is confirmed. If 6.8 fills up with other characters, then yes, Alice is probably a 7.0 plus character. In other words, Alice being skipped in 6.x is plausible, but still not a lock. The lack of 6.8 info keeps the window open. So, with 6.2 live and the Nodkrai cycle progressing, the new leaks point toward Alice not being playable anytime during 6.x. But the missing 6.8 IDs, the summer event potential, and the shaky reliability of the leak sources mean the story isn't settled yet. What do you think? Is Alice being held for a massive 7.0 reveal? Or will she surprise drop in Nodkrai's final patch? Let me know in the comments, subscribe if you enjoy leak breakdowns, and I'll keep you updated as the 6.8 info drops.